everyone, Caren Glasser here, and welcome to Women Inspiring Women Rise Together. And I'm on with my buddy, Joie Gharrity. How are you, Joie?
I'm good. Hi, everyone.
So this is going to be a really cool, I think, show because it's coming off of something that happened this week. But before we actually move into the topic, I want to remind you that if you're actually here on replay, we are so delighted you're here on replay. Make sure you comment down there because you're important to us. And secondly, we're just going to ask you, shamelessly, go ahead and share this. Please share this out to your network and bring people on because we'd love other people to join in the conversation. So today, Joie, we're talking about disappointment, right?
Yes, yes. Hot topic, hot topic.
Yeah,
Yes.
huge topic.
Caren and I, here's the thing. Caren and I, we've been collaborating on her upcoming show, The Little White Lie, featuring Captain Sandy Yawn. And we had a little bit of a major disappointment, to say the least. So, right, Caren, we've been working on this for, 2.5, 3 weeks straight?
Yeah, straight. I mean, just nose to the grindstone, push, and then...
And then Andy Cohen. How dare he?
How dare he?
Watch What Happens Live called Captain Sandy on and said, you got to get on a plane. And so she hopped on a plane. It is one of the biggest shows on TV, right? But what it did for Caren and I, really just for a moment, is it took the wind out of our sails.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be authentic. It really did, right?
Yeah.
Caren lets me know. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, holy crazy.
Like, oh my God, now what? I mean, when she called me that morning, truly, and she called and she said, I don't even know how to say this, but I'm literally in my car on the way to the airport. And it was, and she started, I think the color probably drained out of my face that she didn't even see me. And I went, oh my gosh, now what? And I think I texted you next. I said, congratulations. I said, congratulations, because how cool is that for her, right? Congratulations.
And we want more women at her caliber to be on those type of shows, right? And that media, right? And it's because her popularity is going through the roof. That's exactly what she got the call to be on such a major show on Bravo. But getting back to what happened for you and I is that we were both felt a little defeated. That would be probably an understatement.
Yep.
Felt really defeated. And so we both made a decision. My decision was, hey, listen, let's watch her on Andy Cohen's show tonight. Let's celebrate another woman who is like killing it right now, right? Because you and I are wees. We love to support and encourage.
Right.
And let's circle back tomorrow. Let's circle back tomorrow after yoga and everything else that we do. And we did. And we were very authentic with each other about, first we vented how disappointed we were. Because here's the thing, Caren, is I know that you and I were disappointed, but I think there's something around disappointment out there that also comes around with shame.
Right.
I really do. I think that is a feeling that starts getting identified in our body as like you start feeling like as if you did something wrong.
Right.
That's an initial feeling, right?
Right.
And that's never the case.
Nope.
I mean, probably 99% of the time, it's just circumstances and nothing more.
Right. But the reality then becomes, okay, so it's not my fault. I did nothing I did, but now what? Because again, we had put so much time and energy, and I'm sure that those who are watching right now and watching in the future, I'm sure you can picture yourself in a situation where you've put all of your time, your energy, your soul, your heart into something, and then for no fault of your own, something happens and it doesn't work the way you wanted it to. And then what do you do? How do you shift that? What's the mindset in shifting that and getting back up? As I said to you, I'm going to just pick myself up and I'm going to dust myself off and I'm going to probably hit this even harder. And that's what we discussed, right? We're going to hit this even harder than we did the last time. And is that realistic?
Yeah. And I think that yeah, exactly. Because that's the real key. Because we're professionals, right? And I think it's okay to wallow in something for a few minutes, and I'm all for that because you have to feel your feelings. But then it's just like, okay, let's go to Plan B. And I personally feel Plan B should be like, come out stronger, come out harder, come out more enthusiastic than we did the first round.
Right.
That's the way I feel about disappointment. And I feel, and here's another thing too, having to reach out to everyone that had scheduled around this, who was planning on showing up, that's part of the disappointment gig is having to say to others, this is what's going on, and having to explain, Caren. I think that's part of, I think that's connecting the dots in regards to the feeling the failure for a minute.
Oh, I felt
it. And how do people move through that?
I felt it. I will be honest. I mean, and we didn't talk about it till the next day, truly, but there was a point that went, why bother?
Right.
Why bother? Why I can't do this again. And then, time passed and we talked and I realized, of course I can. Of course I can.
Yeah. 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 And what I think the really important lesson to take away from all this is that just to know that I think it's a self-blame game around failure that we want to take out of the equation. That's why you and I wanted to have this conversation.
Right.
I think that's the first thing that as humans that we go to is a self-blame game first. And instead of just going to plan B and being in forward motion and just hitting it harder.
I agree. Joey, we've got some comments coming in. Should I put a comment up and see what people have to say? So Kathleen wrote, I'm a definite advocate of stepping into conscious intentionality when it comes to managing, supporting, and nurturing our states. Really looking forward to the dialogue. Very, very good. Very, very good.
Thank you, Kathleen. We love Kathleen.
Thank you. And then Amy said, bravo, getting up may be an invitation to a better blessing. Absolutely. So, and that is actually how I think we got to that. This is a blessing because look, she's going to have all this exposure going back to this particular situation. She was going to have exposure. Let's look at the blessing in this in a way that, was additional blessing and additional exposure. And I can leverage that, right? We can leverage the exposure.
Yes.
And so, you and I put together some really cool posts that I've been sharing out there about her sliding off the couch, off of Andy Cohen's couch and sliding back onto my couch. And how fun is that? Because you allowed me to take something that was already kind of depressing me. It's like, how was I going to do this again? And turned it upside down on its ear. And I think that that's a great message that if we can find the positive in something, it changes the outlook.
Yeah. It really does. It really changes the outlook. And here's the other thing too, Caren, is that the absolute big, huge blessing here is that there is an amazing woman out there who is on reality TV, who is being honored and respected and outside of the norm of what reality TV is. And so the more exposure she gets, the better for all of us. I mean, because we're all collective. We're all a collective. Yeah, absolutely.
So how about you guys that are watching right now? Have you experienced things in your life, in your business, personal, where you've been disappointed? Maybe you'd like to share with us in the comments, even for now or for later on, that we can go back and read, letting us know, how did you turn that upside down? How did you turn it around? Did you make it a blessing, or did you continue along the poor me path? Right?
Right. And I think another really important part about this topic is talking about the topic. Mm-hmm. Right? It's so easy to talk about, well, how you fixed it on the other side, right? Because you hear that all the time. Keynoters are talking about that, or, major prominent figures are talking about that. But talking about what it's like when you're still raw and going through the process, I think that's how you are opening doors for others so that they're like, you know what? Yeah, I'm not feeling good about this right now. This isn't working out the way I would hope it to. Yes, I know I'm supposed to get grateful, but I'm allowed to take a moment to feel these feelings and be bummed out and disappointed for a second. You know?
Right. And wallow in it. I mean, just totally like, okay, just, grab your favorite beverage and just sit in it until and if you can look at it differently.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think there should be any timeline out there because I feel like there seems to be a little bit of a trend right now going on where it's just like, well, just be grateful for everything. And I'm like, listen, sisters and brothers, we are like Caren and I are very grateful people, but at the same time, I think being human is actually experience our emotions. And that's what makes us so spectacular with the ups and the downs.
So true. So true. And Joey, you come from a background of being in the industry and have experienced these kind of disappointments. So you have a totally, I think, unique, because of where you come from, way of looking at this. It was very helpful to me, quite frankly, in terms of, that things don't always turn out the way that you think they're going to turn out, no matter how much work you put into it. And you have to really, Right.
I mean, there was just endless times like I'd be so close to closing a deal. I mean, it was literally on the last leg of just getting it over the finish line. And then one of my bosses would call and be like, "Are you sitting down?" And you always
Right.
knew that was not a good sign.
Right.
You know, it was
Right.
that was not a good way to open up a conversation. But what it did teach me after a while is the whole gig of like take time to really like honor my emotions and then get back and just say, okay, how can I hit this harder?
Exactly. Lisa Lamont just put a comment up. It's important to honor your feelings. Absolutely.
It really is. This whole idea of and here's the thing too, as professionals, we honored it for one night. We could have gone days, right? But as professionals,
Right.
as professionals, after yoga, I called Caren and Caren did her routine and we both said, okay, how can we do this?
Right.
What are we going to do next? Right. But the thing too is about the disappointment feeling is a lot of times people want to go back into the shadows.
Right. Right.
Right. You want to go back in the shadows because I do believe that there is some deeper sense sometimes of what did I do wrong? Why didn't I didn't do enough affirmations or I didn't do enough meditation or whatever it is, right?
Right.
And it's just like at the end of the day, sometimes it's just has nothing to do with you. It's just circumstances and that's it.
Right. Absolutely. So we picked ourselves up, brushed ourselves off, and we rescheduled the show. So we want to let you guys know that coming up on this coming Monday on June 19th at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 o'clock Eastern time, Sandy Yon is going to be sliding on the couch. She's going to be joining us, and we're going to talk about breaking the glass ceiling. Unless, of course, something happens. Now, we're not anticipating anything's going to happen.
No, show up. Nothing's going to happen. Show up.
Show up. We want you to be there, and we hope that you will be there and join us on that as well. We do have another comment, though, if that's okay, Joy, I'm going to put up here, and this is from Amy. As an example, I lost a huge job due to cancer, and I took a long while to scream at the beach, grateful for everything, no way, for moments in life, yes. And that, I mean, Amy, thank you for sharing that. That's very personal. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. But that's exactly what we're talking about. Take the time to grieve. Take the time to yell and scream. Take the time to do whatever it is that you need to do. And then if you can find it within yourself, jump back up and get going.
Yeah, just be human. That's why we have our emotions. Be human.
Any last thoughts before we say goodbye?
Well, here's a last thought that I was having is that around this is that we also made a commitment to each other that we were going to be more enthusiastic. Mm-hmm. And what that really is that's a discipline and a choice. Mm-hmm. And by setting that intention is you have to sometimes just dig really deep. You got to push those feelings aside and just say, how can I be more excited and more enthusiastic than I was the first round?
Right.
And that is how you're going to drive yourself into a higher vibration, of course, but also too, you'll have more fun with it. You'll just have more fun. Absolutely. And that's not what life's about at the end of the day. It's just like, so we're excited. We're super excited about Monday. Cannot wait, Caren.
It's going to be a blast. And we want to thank everyone for joining us today on Women Inspiring Women, Rise Together, because we do. And we'll see you next time on the next episode, next edition. And I think that's next week, as a matter of fact. We have
this is a special edition.
This is a special one.
We just went through hell.
Right. But we will definitely see you guys next week. We want to thank you for being on with us because we know you have a choice as to where you spend your time. Thank you for spending it with us tonight. See you then. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.